This is a resource management plan for Samuel de Champlain Provincial Park by Zach Carter. This park is located along the Trans-Canada Highway just east of North Bay and near the city of Mattawa along the Mattawa River. It is a reasonably small park, but there is a lot to do there. Some of the attractions include a significant historic canoe route that the voyageurs used, as well as the native Canadians. Voyageur exhibit. They have cross-country skiing, lots of backpacking and hiking to be done, camping, canoeing, and all kinds of other great activities. I personally have been going to this park for years and have spent at least 4 or 5 days there every summer for as long as I can remember. I recently took my girlfriend there this past summer, and she has grown to love the park as well. The goal of the park is to maintain and manage the outstanding recreational landscapes with the representative natural features and historical resources to provide high quality recreational and educational experiences. The main objective of this park is to contribute to the achievement of Ontario provincial park objectives of protection, recreation, heritage appreciation, and tourism. Samuel de Champlain Park has lots to protect. Not only is it a historical site because of the voyageurs, but there's also lots of untouched, pristine wilderness. There's also many recreation opportunities that need protection in this environment. This is also a heritage site because of its use during the voyageur fur trade. It also wants to provide an opportunity for everyone to use this park as a tourist destination. The park has a resource management plan currently that is based on the minimum operating standards of Ontario parks. It focuses currently on 5 main points: vegetation, water, fisheries, wildlife, and mineral exploration. I plan on using the visitor experience and resource protection framework to build my management plan. I feel that this is a good choice because it is such an interactive park where the visitor experience is a lot different than most parks. So we must learn to balance that with protection of its resources. First step in this process is to assemble a project team. I will get together planners, managers, and researchers that will be well qualified to cover every aspect of this plan. I will then involve the public, not only from the local people of Mattawa and North Bay, but asking guests to fill out surveys about their experience in the park. Then I will develop clear statements of the park's purpose, significance, and primary interpretive themes. The purpose of this park is to protect the unique heritage of the Mattawa River, conserve the beauty and integrity of the natural environment, and educate visitors on the history of the area as well as the importance of sustainable logging. Having basically been a highway for the voyageurs as well as the natives in the area, the shores of the Mattawa River need to be protected as an important archaeological site. The Canadian Shield is a very beautiful landscape that is easily affected negatively by humans' presence, so this must be controlled. And the best way to protect an area is to educate the public on its importance. This will also be important to the park. I will then map and analyze the park's important resources and potential visitor experiences. The campground areas must be monitored to be sure that they are not being overused and damaged. The shores of the Mattawa River must be protected in order to maintain the integrity of anything left behind by the voyageurs and the native people. Hiking trails must be maintained for safety. The beach area must be monitored to make sure no damage is being done to the lakes. Fishing must be monitored to be sure there are healthy stocks of fish. and isolated areas of forest need to be kept out of bounds to visitors to ensure the integrity of the natural landscape. I will then identify potential management zones that cover a range of desired resources and social conditions consistent with the park's purpose. And those areas would be the campsite areas, shore of the Mattawa River, hiking trails, and the protected areas in the forest. I'll then apply the potential management zones to the ground to identify a proposed plan. I will clearly mark out camping zones so the public knows where they're allowed to set up camp. I'll keep all hiking trails clearly marked so that the public knows where they are allowed to hike. Notices along the shoreline of the river informing the public of the importance of keeping these shores in good condition, and mark off all protected areas of the forest so people know not to use them. I'll then select indicators of quality and associated standards for each zone. To do this, I'll take yearly surveys of the campsites, make sure the natural growth is healthy, campfires are not damaging surrounding trees, and the ground itself is not being eroded. Also do yearly tests of the water to make sure there's been no negative changes. Yearly surveys of the shoreline of the river to make sure that it is not being compromised. Yearly surveys of the protected areas of forest to make sure people are staying out of them, and weekly surveys of the hiking trails to check for potential dangers. And then I will use the staff of the park to do an initial survey as well as do surveys in the future. Obviously, monitoring is important, and this will be done with the yearly surveys that I have laid out. Also, guests will be surveyed to see how their experience was at the park, and staff will always be on the lookout and monitoring whenever they are at the park. We also have to bring in a fishery expert each year to make sure that the fish stocks are good, as well as a water expert to test the water, and an archaeologist to test the shoreline of the Mattawa River. In summary, Samuel de Champlain Provincial Park is a great park that really focuses on the quality of their guests' experiences through lots of interactive activities. It not only has a great historical value being located on a main waterway used by the voyageurs and the native people, but it also offers pristine, untouched landscape to be explored by the guests. I feel as if these factors make it one of the most important parks in Ontario to be protected. With the plan I have laid out in this presentation, I feel as if we can keep this park in great condition for the future generations to enjoy. And these are my references. Thank you.